Most people don't avoid faith conversations because they hate spirituality. They avoid them because they fear awkwardness, conflict, or sounding pushy. What if you could talk about your beliefs in a way that actually draws people in instead of pushing them away? Welcome to HowExpert Tip of the Day, where we bring you real world tips from our how to guides on all topics from A to Z. If you want to learn even more in depth strategies, examples, and techniques on this topic, check out HowExpert Guide to Evangelism. Available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes& Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. Sharing your faith doesn't require memorizing speeches or debating strangers. At its core, evangelism is simply communicating hope through genuine connection. When done naturally, it becomes less about persuasion and more about meaningful human conversation. Here's how to do it step by step in a way that feels authentic and respectful. Step number 1. Start with listening, not talking. Many people approach faith conversations already preparing their next response. Instead, focus on understanding first. Ask open-ended questions about life, purpose, struggles, or values, and let the other person speak freely without interruption. When someone feels heard, trust begins forming immediately. Ironically, the more you listen, the more interested they become in what you believe. Step number 2. Build relationship before explanation. People rarely care about beliefs until they care about the believer. Invest time in normal, everyday interaction, work conversations, hobbies, shared experiences, and simple kindness. Over time, your character becomes a context for your message. A 5-minute theological explanation rarely changes someone, but consistent authenticity over weeks or months often opens the door naturally. Step number 3. Share your story instead of winning arguments. Arguments trigger defensiveness, but stories create curiosity. Rather than proving points, explain how your faith personally affected your life, your fears, doubts, growth, or peace during hard moments. Personal experience is difficult to dismiss because it's not presented as a debate. People may disagree with ideas, but they rarely argue against sincere experience. Step number 4. Connect faith to real life needs. Abstract discussions about religion can feel distant, but connecting faith to everyday struggles makes it relevant. Talk about anxiety, purpose, forgiveness, identity, or hope. Issues everyone understands. When someone sees faith addressing real human concerns, it becomes practical rather than theoretical. This turns the conversation from religion into life. Step number 5. Invite, don't pressure. A conversation should feel like an open door, not a cornered hallway. Offer opportunities gently, a question to consider, a book to explore, or an event to visit. Without emotional pressure. People move at different speeds, and patience communicates respect. Often the person who isn't rushed becomes the person who genuinely returns. Step number 6. Handle questions with humility. You will eventually hear difficult questions, and that's actually a good sign. Instead of rushing to answer everything perfectly, it's okay to admit uncertainty and explore together. Saying, "That's a thoughtful question, let me think about it," builds credibility, not weakness. Humility lowers defenses and keeps dialogue alive. Step number 7. Trust the process, not just the moment. Meaningful change rarely happens in a single conversation. Think of faith conversations as planting seeds rather than harvesting immediately. Some discussions may seem to go nowhere, but they often linger in someone's thoughts later. Consistency over time matters far more than one perfect interaction. Example, conversations you can try. Imagine a coworker mentions feeling overwhelmed. Instead of immediately giving advice, you might say, "I felt that too. Something that helped me personally was learning how to release pressure through prayer. Have you ever tried anything like that?" Notice the tone. Conversational, not instructional. If a friend asks why you attend church, a simple response works. "Honestly, it gives me perspective and peace during stressful weeks. It reminds me what matters most." This opens dialogue without preaching. Or if someone expresses curiosity directly, you can respond, "I'd love to share what I believe it." but I also want to hear what you think about spirituality first. That invitation creates mutual respect. How expert tip: ask permission before going deeper. A powerful but overlooked technique is simply asking, "Would you like me to explain what I believe?" Permission transforms a conversation from unsolicited advice into a welcomed exchange. When you apply these steps, sharing your faith becomes less stressful and more relational. You stop trying to control outcomes and start cultivating meaningful connections where belief can grow naturally. Your challenge: this week, choose one person and focus only on listening and understanding their perspective. Don't try to convince, just connect. Notice how openness increases when pressure disappears. For even more tips, techniques, and practical examples on this topic, check out HowExpert Guide to Evangelism, available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes& Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. HowExpert publishes how-to guides on all topics from A to Z. Visit howexpert.com to learn more.